Good evening, everyone. My name is Drew Chesney, and I am the Council Commissioner. Welcome to the May Roundtable and Leader Update for the Twin Rivers Council. We're going to get rolling here. It's 7:35, 5 minutes after. When we're supposed to start, we pretty much got all the players in the room, and we'll still let people in as we go. True to form with all roundtables, it appears that as the weather gets nicer and the sun stays up longer, the numbers start to dwindle, and that's okay. I can appreciate that. So we're gonna get through. We got it recorded, and we will certainly put it up for others to enjoy at a later time and date. So heading on through, it is April 2022, and summer is right around the corner. Exciting things are happening, and it is an exciting time in scouting. So let's start off first with our safety moment with our VP of Safe Scouting, Mr. Brian Murray.
All right, so this month we just wanted to take a moment to refresh everybody and make sure everyone knows about the Guide to Safe Scouting. This is a really important resource that all scouters should be aware of and should be actively using within our units, within our council and district level activities, et cetera. There are two ways to access the Guide to Safe Scouting. There is you can download a PDF version of it, or you can access the online version, as you can see represented there from scouting.org. Online version obviously has the advantage of being continuously updated, and it does get updated throughout the year at times with new information. The tips to keep in mind here is when planning activities and scouting, first, know the guide. All participants and official scouting activities should be familiar with this document and all of the other applicable program literature and materials. Know the law, know what the state and local government regulations are within our area. New York State obviously has a lot of laws regarding health codes and other activities, associated with our activities that we do here in scouting. Know the risks. The Guide to Safe Scouting does not cover every possible activity, but it does provide guidance on how to evaluate risks and proceed safely if explicit requirements do not exist. So there's a section in there, check out the activity planning and risk assessment section. So if there's something you're thinking about doing that doesn't get covered in there, check that out. Know the restrictions. There are certain activities in scouting that are prohibited or restricted, including some that occasionally people are surprised by. So please make sure if you're thinking about doing something different, check out the Guide to Safe Scouting to see if it's on their list of prohibited activities. Know the limits. The document also contains age-appropriate guidelines for scouting. What might be appropriate for a Cub Scout or for a Scout is not necessarily appropriate for a Cub Scout. What might be appropriate for an older Scout is not necessarily appropriate for a younger first or second year Scout. So look for the age-appropriate guidelines and find out what is appropriate for each age group. And then know the program. In addition to the Guide to Safe Scouting, several of our scouting programs have their own in-depth manuals. Things like shooting sports, aquatics, cope and climbing, all have specific guidebooks that give you a lot more detail as for the requirements for each of those program activities. So if you're thinking about doing anything in one of those areas, please make sure you check that out. So the Guide to Safe Scouting provides guidance on how to assess risks and proceed safely. If your activity is not specifically addressed in the program materials, it also contains policies such as the Scouter Code of Conduct and the barriers to abuse, the YPT barriers to abuse. So lots of really important information to make sure that we have safe scouting activities. Thanks, Drew.
Very cool. Thank you, Brian. As always, I didn't touch on it before, but those of you who are not new to the game here, feel free to type any questions or comments in the chat box, and we will address them as we get going here. Also, at the end of the meeting, we will have some time for question and answer opportunities if you do have some specific things you'd like addressed. So, all right, moving forward, we're going to bring up our Director of Membership, Tori.
Hello, good evening, everybody. As Drew says, the sun is shining, and we're hopefully going to start seeing some spring to get these scouts out and about. And speaking of that, with spring recruitment, we have kicked off spring recruitment in full swing. I have to say there are a lot of units, and thank you to those units that have been out there doing events. There's a lot scheduled all the way up until about the end of May. So it's really exciting to see all the units really kind of grasp this and run out there and getting the scouts, the Cub Scouts, the regular Scouts BSA in for camp. As a council, we got 109 new scouts since the beginning of the year, which I think is awesome. We're looking at about 1.7% better than where we were last year at this time. So let's keep pushing forward. As many of you, we do our recruitment kits. We do them for packs and we do them for troops. You can get that through our website. Halfway down, there's a little box that you can click and you can fill out the form and we can customize them for you. We do flyers, we do the postcards, we do even the peer-to-peer cards are all, they're all personalized. There's new stickers. We got new stickers for Scouts BSA and for Cub Scouts. They seem to be flying off. We've done about 40 so far, so it's been great. We will have them at the University of Scouting too. So if any of the units would like one, those will be more of a generic style so that you guys can have them. They're just a starter kit to get you guys kicked off. One quick thing I want to touch on is getting ready for recruitment events. We've had some leaders reach out and say, okay, we want to do a recruitment event. What do we need to do? So I just kind of wanted to go over some tips for you guys to prepare for a recruitment event. One, reach out to your district membership teams. Reach out to them. You can also get their names also on our website underneath the directory, but also too, if you're on your district meetings, you'll know who your contact is to let them in the loop because a lot of them want to be helpful. They want to be there. What can they do? So reach out to them to coordinate events, see what kind of support the district can give you also. And one thing is make sure you get a volunteer or a parent that is there with you, that is there, to be able to explain about the unit. Me and the team, me and Quinn and Ty would love to be able to be there, but we can't be at all of them at the same time. But also too, if we're there, it's nice to have that parent. So that's that volunteer to volunteer, that parent. They see somebody that looks like them and that knows what the unit activities are. And making sure that you have a display, brag about your unit, have anything you want up there, whether it's pictures, whether it's slides, whether it's your Pinewood Derby cars that the kids have made, activities that the kids have done, brag about your unit. You want to show the parents what your unit's doing and also have a calendar of activities. What are you going to be doing over the summer? What camps are you going to? And also have camp information there on the table so you can show them what their opportunities are for going to camp. And yes, we would love as a council, me, Quinn and Ty, we will, we can be at some of the events, but we, one thing I want to put out there, try to get in 3 to 4 week, requests so that we can make sure that we can get it scheduled between the 3 of us. Sometimes we get multiple events on one day. We want to make sure that we have all the support that we can give you. So the more time we have, the better off we can be able to schedule that. But again, you guys know if you got any questions, you can always reach out to me, Ty, Quinn, feel free to email us. We'll be glad to help out. Next, I just want to say a big welcome. We got 3 new units. We got Troop 4030G, brand new girls troop up near Alpause. It's a really neat, they are almost like a legacy. All 5 girls that cross over all started as Tigers and have worked their way all the way through the program. And I was at their crossover and I'll tell you, it was really cool to see these group of girls that have been together since they were 6 years old and now crossing over into the troop. We also have Troop 5051G. That's in Broad Alban, great spot. They are excited and they are jumping on and going also. And we have our post down in Germantown, 2070 fire post came back on board. So we do have a few others that we're working on, but I wanted to say welcome to those new units. And if anybody scouters are out there and you see them out there, welcome them to the scouting community. And last but not least, we got some really exciting news. For your units, do you enjoy being on the water or looking for a new scouting adventure? Well, guess what? We are excited to announce that we have partnership with the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary to start our very first Sea Scout ship. It will be chartered by, it actually is going to be chartered by the division, which is based out of the Albany Flotilla. So you're going to have a division. So there's about 15 different flotillas that are actually, their division mirrors exactly what our council is. So they will have these youth will have the opportunity to get all of the differences that each flotilla offers. Some may be more of the ships, some may be more of the sailing, some might be, a little bit of navigation or working on boats. So they will get a variety of great opportunity. So if anybody's interested in looking for more, information, again, if any current youth would like to be able to join, it is a multiple for them, because that Sea Scouting does fall underneath the traditional scouting. So it will be a multiple for them. We're really excited to get this going. I was on a call. We have a lot of support from national and regional leaders. We had about 6 that were on a call with about 22 members of the flotilla. They are all excited. They are ready to just ground running. And the nice part is that they will have the experience to be able to work with some of the U.S. Coast Guard when the cutters come up and the ships come up. So it will be the full program. But if you would like any more information, you can contact Tyler Henderson. His email is on there. He's kind of running the show on this, and we're really excited. So if any questions, let me know. Drew, back to you.
Cool. You finally got your ship. Congratulations.
Yes.
Finally got your ship. All righty. Moving. Can you remind us what the minimum age for Sea Scouts are?
The minimum age, thank you, Rob. Minimum age is 14. So it's just kind of like the same as your venturing crew. So they can come in at 14 and they can go all the way up until 21. So that is the minimum age.
All right. Moving forward. Quick reminder, we had a pretty good conversation last month on opportunities for units to provide service on Earth Day and Arbor Day. So just again, April 22nd, April 29th, for those 2 holidays respective. If your units haven't planned anything, there's still time. And I would strongly encourage units who are participating in some sort of service or activity for the 2 days to really promote yourselves, utilize it on your social media, make sure that you put it out to local news outlets if you can, but really put it out what your kids are doing and the good work that they're doing around this these service days. So just another quick reminder, if you're looking for the information on that, we give a lot of good opportunities and perspective. Head over to our Facebook page and you can see last month's recording. All right. Rob, our VP of Finance is going to provide us with a little updates from National regarding some unit account stuff. Rob?
Yeah, great. So we got this news from National this past month. If units who are using, so PAX, troops, posts, crews, you're using PayPal or Venmo, they have reduced the reporting requirements for calendar year 2022. So the reporting requirements used to be $20,000 and 200 transactions. This is for goods and services. It's now reduced down to $600 for the 2022 tax season. So this won't account for friends and family type transactions, but it's like goods and services. So if you're doing stuff like popcorn and whatnot, this is where it is. You'll get a 1099K. They're just saying you contact your treasurers and your committee chairs. We have the link here, but just make sure you have the proper EIN, which is your identification number, your tax identification number for your unit, which will mirror your charter organization. If you have any questions, again, reach out to your own tax advisors or folks at council. So next we'll go on to tax exempt status. Again, charter organizations, I have a unit chartered by a fire station, another one by a church. The tax status of the unit is that of the charter organization. It's not council necessarily, unless you're chartered by council. I think there's very few of those. So, council registered units here are generally tax exempt. You can talk to council for the council units who are chartered by them. But again, your EIN will match that of your charter organization. So your tax exempt status, which should follow that of your charter organization. And I don't know if there's anything else here on that. If there's any questions, let me know on that. So fundraising, we're getting, as Drew said, weather's getting warm. People might be doing car washes soon, pancake breakfasts, barbecues and whatnot. Those who sell popcorn, that's a council approved fundraiser, so you don't have to really fill out a unit money earning application. If you are going to do a fundraiser, please get a unit money earning application from council, so your event is insured. So you want to have that approval before you are proceeding. So if you were to do a car wash and damage somebody's car, you know that you are improperly insured. So please ensure that your units are doing that. Soliciting gifts. So units should not be soliciting gifts. It's in a lot of the BSA write-ups. Generally when we have had popcorn tables at my units, we have a can out there, but the scouts are not actively asking for a donation, but people can make donations to a unit, but that's not going to be a charitable donation or deduction for that donor who's giving a cash donation to a unit. So just wanted to have people remind that on who are soliciting gifts if they're and selling anything in this spring. The other one is scout accounts. For those units who have scout accounts, this is a account set up within the general fund of your unit. It's money set aside for a scout to use for scouting purposes. One of the things, there's a lot of tax issues here. What we want to make sure that units are aware is that they should be used for tax-exempt eligible purposes, and that the money that's being raised in that scout account is not the family's money. So it is the unit's money, and it's used to be used for scouting purposes. So if you have a scout aging out and they want to use their money to buy Oakleys and a backpack before they head off to college, they can't do it. They shouldn't do it. So make sure you're in compliance with that. I'm a committee chair for Troop 75. It's spelled out in our policies what our scout account policy is. If you leave the troop, your troop scout account money stay behind. You cannot take your scout account monies with you.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it very much. And that's a great policy to make sure that all parents knows. I was telling Rob before everybody got in, one of the biggest things I deal with as a commissioner sometimes is angry parents who don't understand the policy and think when their kids transferring to a new unit or whatever, the money that they've all raised goes with them. And that's not accurate. It's not the way it should be. So units are encouraged to make sure that they have a clear and concise policy that their parents understand. And then one last thing, just a point of clarification. It always comes up for some reason, at least to commissioners, and I read about it. And I may tag Mark a little bit on this. So money unit earning applications are not a way for the council to take a dip into your fundraising adventures. Hear that all the time, Mark, and it's just not true. So what are the purposes of the money earning applications?
So we'll look at that and make sure that we understand if it's a product sale, if you're selling chocolate bars, we're familiar with the company. Our people in the community, if they get sick, if they get a bad product, they don't understand the difference between what your unit made arrangements for versus the Boy Scouts of America. So we look for any type of products. And then we look for safety issues and we look for insurance opportunities. Frankly, we look for ways that we can help you improve those fundraisers if we've got an experience or connections to do that. It's really not a way to tax that fundraiser. I'm not quite sure. That's been around for years and years and years. I'm sure somewhere, somehow that happened, but that's not at all what we use them for.
I appreciate that. And again, it's a thing that always gets brought up. We always know the answer to it, but it always gets brought up. Question of the group here. I thought money collected in the bucket, the popcorn table, was to be used to buy military donations. Many units do that. Absolutely. It's really up to the unit as to what you want to do with that. Sometimes it's just a small donation to the unit itself, as long as there's no understanding that there's a deduction available to them. But I do see a lot of units provide that opportunity. It's really, again, up to the committee's policy of what you want to do with that. It really helps out because also the donations on the table can also give you your 40% there. We do see units who put it out just for donations to the PAC itself. It goes both ways on a lot of different levels. I think, I'll go on that. I think in a lot of the literature from the program or the popcorn companies has you use it towards military donations so that everyone's kind of getting their share of it. The council has never gotten into that going, it must go for this or that. If you have a donation cup, you have a donation cup. So. All right, Brian, you got a few program slides here.
All right, so it looks like first one is our centennial celebration at a Rotary. We're having a dinner and open house on July 30th, Saturday, July 30th. We're finalizing some of the registration details for that, and hopefully have that out to you all pretty soon. But we're looking at, there'll be an open house, opportunities to take some tours around the camp, guided or self-guided, as well as a fun dinner, and gets out an opportunity to see folks and friends from our scouting community. So please look forward to coming out to see us there. What else we got? All right, staff. We have got a fantastic staff that's been put together for summer camp this year, but we do have a few positions that are still unfilled. So currently looking for about 3 more instructors, looking for like 16, 17-year-old scouts to fill those instructor roles in Scoutcraft, ecology, and comm safety, as well as a couple of staff to help us out in the food service area. So if you know of anybody that might be interested in one of those positions, you know, with camp staff, oftentimes it's about a staff member or a unit leader kind of tapping that scout on the shoulder and saying, you really ought to think about this. You do a really great job working on this. That's how I got started in this business way too long ago. You know, we certainly encourage our staff members to do that with scouts throughout the summer. But if you have a scout in your unit, or that you're working with through the OA or through district operations or anything like that, and you say, hey, you should really consider working out at camp this summer, we'd certainly appreciate that. As I said, we got just a few more positions left to fill, and then we'll have our fantastic team put together. And STEM Week, we have our, last week we were going to have the big announcement at this meeting last week, and then we got postponed, so we put it out there anyway for you. But we're going to make it up to you, because I'm actually going to change one of the things, and you guys are going to be the first ones to hear it. We've got our STEM Week schedule for week 6, August 7th and 13th. If you're not familiar with this program, we do everything that we're doing the rest of the summer, the full total outdoor program experience, but we add on an additional bunch of merit badges and STEM Nova awards that are over and above on top of that. So these are programs that are only available that week. We usually get a nice big turnout of provisional scouts that want to come out for a second week or third week to join us for this and have the opportunity to work on some of these badges. So we've got a Nova Award, the Shoot Nova Award for that, which is a good one. We got game design, we've got digital technology, radio, healthcare professions, first time we've ever offered that particular merit badge. And we've got engineering on there. We put this out there last week, and then the counselor got to me yesterday and was like, my schedule changed. I'm not gonna be able to make it out that week, but that's okay, because we've already replaced it. So engineering, we're gonna have to take off, but we've already done that a couple times in recent years, so that'll be okay. And we're replacing it with chess, which is always a very popular one with the scouts. They love it when we do that. We got a big chessboard that they can play with and such. So definitely a great opportunity. Even if you've got a scout that's going someplace else for a week of camp with a troop or elsewhere, have them do a second week of camp. Come on out to STEM Week and join us for a really outstanding program.
Please tell me that Nova Shoot is like lasers and ray guns.
Yeah, I wish it was, but remember the forbidden activities that I was talking about under the Guide to Safe Scouting at the beginning of this? Yeah.
All right.
No, Shoot, I got to double check. I think Shoot is more of a physics-based one, but I could be wrong on that one. I think that's what that one is. They all have all these very clever names that kind of disguise a little bit about the real math behind them. And we've got am I doing this one? I don't see, or Amy's on. I don't know if she wants to talk about this, but we've got our day camp programs happening at both Rotary and Waukpamini this summer. We've got the full 5-day program at Rotary, July 11th to 15th, and the Waukpamini weekend program, August 6th to 7th. It is a medieval theme, so for scouts that are excited about dragons and knights and all that good stuff, they can come on out to camp and enjoy that. There is busing transportation available for the Rotary program, and that hits a number of communities in the Delmar, Stephen or Rob's going to correct me if I get this wrong, but Delmar, Colony, Clifton Park areas. And am I missing one there, Stephen?
I don't think so. I think you pretty much got them.
Okay. Delmar, Colony, and Clifton Park areas, there is busing transportation available to come back and forth to the Rotary Day Camp. And this is a fantastic opportunity. You're going to have some STEM activities, some archery, some BB guns, slingshots, nature hikes, crafts, games, etc. Really awesome, great way to introduce the Cub Scouts into an outdoor summer program. And Rob Patterson has helpfully helped me out with this. I said physics, it is projectiles in space, that's physics. So, but a little bit more specific there. So thank you for that.
Star Trek. Got it. Awesome.
Yes,
Before
Star
we
Trek.
move on, Stephen or anybody involved in day camp, you want to touch anything else on this, or are you good?
I don't have anything else at the moment. There's some marketing stuff that's going to be going out for day camp probably in the next week or so, but just be on the lookout in your mailbox.
And for an even grander adventure for our Cub Scouts, we've got resident camp. So we have a day camp option. We also have a resident camp option. Resident camp is being held at Rotary July 24th to 27th. We have a treasure hunters theme for our program for that. It's a 3-day program, starts on Sunday, ends on Wednesday. And this is a really fantastic opportunity particularly for older Cub Scouts, but really any of the Cub Scouts above the age of lion. So the Tigers and up are able to participate in this one. And we've got fishing, we've got archery and other shooting sports programs. One thing that we're able to do at the resident camp program that we're not able to do at the day camps is the swimming activities and boating activities. So that's a really outstanding part of the resident camp experience. The Scouts, Cub Scouts and family members that come out, or pack leaders that come out to resident camp, you're going to be staying in the same big tents that the Scouts stay in, the older Scouts, the big canvas wall tents. So you don't need to bring your backpacking tent. It's, we provide all the tenting, we provide the food in the dining hall, we provide all of that, and you have a fantastic experience. Do a round robin experience, set the Scouts up as dens, and they work their way through the program through the course of the 3 days there. So we've got the day camp experience, July 11th to 15th, or the August 6th, 7th weekend. And then we've got the resident camp experience for Cub Scouts, July 24th to 27th. For the resident camp, if you go to rsrbsa.org/Cub Camp, you can find out, there's a video, there's the leader's guide with all the information you need to find out about planning for camp this summer. And if you have any questions about that, I'll throw my email address in the chat when I stop talking here, and you can certainly reach out and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you are interested in having a staff member reach out, maybe even a staff member visit a PAC meeting to talk with you and your Scouts about the program, please let me know and we can work on trying to set that up. And we'd be happy to talk to your Scouts and get them all hyped up for summer camp. We're hoping for a really good program with minimal restrictions that we've seen in the last couple of years. So the Scouts going to have a fun outdoor experience, and really looking forward to it.
Very cool. I think we already handled that question beautifully. All right, good. Yeah. Quick reminder, the Outdoor Activity Award for the summertime for Cub Scout packs. We went over this in detail again last month, but just a quick reminder for those packs who are still looking for activities and what they can do for the summer with their kids. Keep in mind about this particular award. Information's up on the website. It's up on scouting.org. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to continue the adventure. If you're not doing day camp, you're not doing resident camp, or family camp or anything, please at least try at least one activity a month with your pack to keep them moving and to keep them engaged in the program throughout the summer. Stephen, anything you want to touch on with a couple of slides that come up here?
Sure. July 9th to 10th, we have the Camp Aquamini Adventure Weekend. We'll have all the shooting ranges will be open. We'll have the waterfront will be open. There's availability to do hiking and fishing, and working in the Pioneer program, which is Trail of First Class. We'll have some volunteers for that as well. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. And then you can, your unit can reserve a campsite. We are doing a ATV training on July 20th in the evening. And so that is on our calendar and our website as well. This is where you can come in and get the training portion out of the way, and then you can come back and do a weekend ATV trek. We have several shooting opportunities. We have a night shoot, and then we have a shooting competition, and we are still putting the final touches on an NRA Youth Certification Day. And so those are our shooting activities for the summer.
Fantastic. And again, just to to mention one more time is if you attend, you have leaders attending the ATV training, your unit can arrange through you to go up and utilize and do a small trek on the property with the ATVs, do a small program, but you're able to go up and do that if
you can get more time on the ATVs if you go ahead and get the training done ahead of time. So if you have your scouts and you come up and do the training ahead of time, the training usually takes about 4 hours, and then you would normally get 2, 3, 4 hours on the ATVs. This way you can come up for a full day and get a full 8 hours out on the ATVs.
Quick reminder, June 26th through July 2nd, National Youth Leadership Training at Rotary Scout Reservation. I believe registration is still open on this and will be until it gets full. If you have any youth, we're looking for a little bit of a challenge. Your next SPL, your next ASPL, the youth on the line who will be stepping up and leading your unit. This is a great opportunity that they really should take advantage of, and hopefully you can gear them that way. University of Scouting, May 21st, 2022, 8 a.m. to 4:15, Rotary Scout Reservation. I think I don't see Cheryl on. Is there anybody from the committee on who wants to speak to this? Yeah.
I mean, we've got a great program.
Good, it's fine. Yeah, no, this time for University of Scouting, we'll be up at Rotary Scout Reservation. And so it's a great opportunity. There's a lot of classes that we're offering this year that we normally cannot offer at University of Scouting just because we're in an outside environment. And so this is a great opportunity for us to have these classes. We are looking at probably moving it back to March next year. So this is a one-time May event at Rotary Scout Reservation. So I highly encourage everyone to take advantage of actually doing like hands-on Dutch oven cooking, actually going out on an orienteering course, learning all those different type of things. You'll be able to put the leave no trace skills to use and actually learn how to set up a geofencing course. So those are just a couple of the items that we'll have there.
I've never run into somebody who regretted attending University of Scouting. The staff, the volunteers, they do a tremendous job on each one of the activities and one of the sessions. So I strongly encourage, please share this with parents, volunteers in your units, really anybody who has a passion and a level of engagement with your unit. They'll definitely get something out of it, and your unit will benefit as well. So one thing that we're also, should be open to is that if you have a long travel, we have sleeping accommodations in the form of lean-tos, so feel free. So we may be able to adjust you there. So any other comments on the University of Scouting?
Yeah, Drew,
all the registrations can be open yet or no?
Drew, this is Keith Koster. I'm University of Scouting, and I'm one of the staff.
Fantastic, Keith.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it to anybody that hasn't been. Sign up, get a couple courses. This is a great time to kind of learn with other adults and get in an environment that's going to be conducive to, learning at an adult level. And it is probably one of the best events that we put on. So I just can't promote it enough, and just wanted to throw my 2 cents in.
Your 2 cents were very much welcome, sir. Thank you. Stephen, registration live and active for this?
Yeah, registration is live. All the classes are up, so you can fully register for the classes. Everything's good to go. We are not providing a lunch, so you would need to bring a sack lunch or make other arrangements up there, So, but other than that, it should be a great time.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Steve, I'm going to put you on the spot one more time. I know it's very early, but just kind of first thoughts on what you guys are doing for National Jamboree.
National Jamboree, we are looking at taking a couple of groups in National Jamboree this year or next year. One of the things that's changed is that in the past, it's been 36 youth and 4 adults. There can be more adults going with the group now. Then there's just the 4, so they've kind of loosened that up a little bit, and that is going to be in July in 2023. We're just putting together all the marketing materials right now, and we're getting ready to kick that off. but you do need to go to the National Jamboree webpage there and enter your information into the national portal. And then you also will need to sign up in our local council one as well. And we'll be taking all the payments through the local council portal. But national does require you to register through them and through us on that one.
So maybe a little bit too early.
Yeah, we're really doing is trying to get the best deal we can on transportation. That's the one key thing that we're still working on. And so, but as soon as we get that hammered out, we will have all the information and be ready to put it out.
And it may be a little bit early still, but in the past it was if you're interested in an adult leadership position, you had to put your name in the ring and go through a little bit of a process. Is that going to be kind of the same deal this year?
Yeah. So what we'd like you to do is go ahead and put your stuff. You can go ahead and put your info into the national portal, and then we'll have a way for you to put it through our local one, and then we'll be contacting all the adults, and I probably won't, and do like kind of probably like a mini little interview, get to know you session, and then so we can make certain that we have good leadership for our boys and girls that'll be going there on National Jamboree. One other thing I can put out to you guys is that there are a couple councils in our area there, and we're one of them that we're talking about putting together a all girls contingent for National Jamboree. And so that'll probably be a combination of our council, Seneca Waterways in Rochester, and Hudson Valley down south just a little bit. So that is going to be an option for that.
Very cool. Very cool. All right.
Quick question. Are you looking for staff? I don't know who's going for staff from council to.
The way the staff works is you need to apply through the national portal, and then they will ask us to approve the staff members. So if it's someone that we feel like they wouldn't want to have there, then we want to approve them. But I haven't not approved anyone yet. I think I've approved 6 or 7 people for staff already. So that's how the staff option works. So if you're interested in being on staff National Jamboree, just go to the National Jamboree website. There's a link right there where you can put in your application to be on staff.
Steve, can I ask you a quick question on that?
Yes.
If you've put in for staff on national, does the person still have to contact council also, or does national do that automatically?
That's all through the national office if you're selected for staff with national.
Okay, perfect.
Some quick updates on trainings coming up in the next month. We've talked about pretty much all these already, but just kind of a reminder. I think the Cub Scout leader training on May 7th is new from last month. But if you have any questions or concerns, I think we have a couple people on here who can answer any particular questions. Steven, just a reminder what the archery level 1 is. The USA archery level 1.
I thought I saw Tyler on here. Are you on, Tyler?
Yes, I'm on. So the USA Archery Level 1 course is a nationally recognized course. It provides information on how to set up a range, safety rules around the range, teaching techniques of how to safely shoot for scouts, but also adults, and then general equipment and safety programs with your equipment. They kind of changed their program a little bit since over the last couple of years. The registration is live on the website. We already have 7, and I can have a maximum of 12. So if you're interested in this course, it's filling up quick.
Cool. Cub Scout leader training. Again, I always put a plug in for these ones that kind of double up. I mean, to have your Cub Master committee member and gun leaders have the opportunity of everybody showing up and doing the training at one time as a pack is a tremendous value. So Cub packs, if you have that opportunity, please encourage maybe a little mass sign up and get your back there. comment before, it says university conflicts with Baloo, I think. There is an overnight Baloo. There will be that. Yeah. And Tyler, thank you for the background on that, and I appreciate you hiding behind the council commissioner patch on your screen. That's good. That's good. All right. That concludes our slides for the evening. Our next roundtable is going to be May 2nd, and coincidentally, it'll be the last one for this particular scouting year. Couple quick notes: 71 days until summer, 83 days until camp, and 464 days until National Jamboree kicks off. So something to look for there too for some of you. So next month, my intention is to, because summer is a lot of summer camp stuff and going on. We're going to heavily focus a lot of our discussions on program planning for units, since that'll be a heavy topic for units in the summertime. So we'll get into program stuff. We'll get into members, all the big topics we talked about here. We'll just have kind of a little kick into it about program planning for that you can do with your committee over the summer for next year. So appreciate everyone's time. I'm going to hang out for a little bit, and we'll be able to answer questions, engage if you have any particular